As always, if we want to style it, we need to go to our main CSS, right? So this is going to be our panels. Right now they're each separately, right? But we need to actually make them appear much more nicer, right? So what we need to do over here, as always, we're just going to create a way more space over here like this. And we're going to say that this is going to be a pricing section, right? Section over here. And we're just going to copy this, and we're going to say this is going to be end of pricing section, right? And within these, again, in between these comments, we're going to start styling, right? So we're just going to slide over here so we can see it a little bit better. And we're going to say that first of all, we want to target this ID, and we're going to say that we would want a padding to be like something like 40 pixels, right? So something like this. So padding 40 pixels all around, right? Left, right, and top and bottom. And after that, we're going to create this background color, right? So we're going to say background, and we're going to say a background color, and we're going to go with this gray one, right? So let's just go ahead and find where is our gray color, and I believe it was something like this one, right? So this is where was our color. So we're just going to copy this one, and we're going to slide it all the way here, and then we're going to paste it, right? So this is going to be our gray color that we pick. And after that, we were going to start actually styling this panel, right? So the first thing we're going to say is we would want a pricing, right? And then we're going to say that the class of panel, right? So that's what we want to target, right? And after that, we're going to write that a border color is going to be a orange one, right? So we're going to say border, and we're going to say color right here like this, and then we're going to use this orange color, right? So we're going to say 15025, right? So now the border color should be something like this. So we're just going to save this, and maybe we cannot see right now. Yeah, now that we don't have this live preview on it, you can see sometimes if it's something really small, then if the live preview, let's say, is on it, right, you can see that it's totally blocking, so it looks like it's blue, but actually if we press it away, you can see that we have a border color, right? And let's go ahead and keep on styling. And what we want to style is actually a pricing actual panel heading, right? So again, we're going to say pricing. This is going to be our div, and then we're going to say that this is going to be panel heading over here, heading like this, right? And now you can see that we're styling the pricing header, right? Panel heading. And over here we're going to say that background color, we're just going to make it the same way. We're just going to make it orange, right? So we're going to say a background color, and we can just copy this one right now. Copy and paste, right? So now we have a panel heading that is actually a orange, right? And after that, we'll probably want to style this heading 3, right? So what we want to do is we're going to say pricing, and we're going to say panel heading over here like this, and we're going to say that heading 3 over here like this, and we're going to say that we would want a font size to be again like something like 40 pixels, right? And we would want to say the text transform to uppercase, transform uppercase, right? Now that we're done with that, we can actually work with the title over here with this $10, right? And what we're going to say is that this is going to be pricing, right? And then we're going to say this is going to be a title. And first, let's just style the actual title. And we're going to say that this is going to have some margin. And we're going to say the margin is going to be 10 pixels top, right? Then we're going to say this is going to be 0. And then it's going to be 60 pixels to the bottom. And here we're going to say that this is going to be 0 again, right? So we created some margins for the title, right? And after that, we're going to say that there's going to be some pricing title heading 1. We're going to change that. So I'm going to say pricing. I'm going to say title, and heading 1. And we're going to say that this is going to have a font size of, let's say, something like 60. Right, 60 pixels, right, something like this. So it's a little bit, well, actually quite a lot bigger. And once we're actually done with styling heading 1, we can start styling the unordered list items, right? And the first thing we'll probably want to do is get rid of those annoying bullet points, right? So I'm going to say pricing, and then we're going to say unordered list, right? Now we're targeting the unordered list, and we're going to say list style type, and we're going to say none, or here like this. Then we're going to say that the padding is also should be much more smaller. So I'm going to say the padding is going to be 0. And over here, I'm just going to write important, right? So just in case, so we get rid of pretty much all the paddings. And after that, we're going to start actually styling a list item. So we're going to say pricing. I'm going to say ULLI, right? So now we're targeting the actual list item. And we're going to say that the font size is going to be something like 24. Font size, 24 pixels, right? After that, we're going to create a little bit of line height. We're going to say 1.5 EM, right? And after that, we're going to create a different rule for a footer, right? Because we're pretty much done with our list items. So we're going to say over here, we're going to say pricing, and we're going to say that the class panel footer. And over here, we're going to write that this is going to have a color. And this is going to be a white smoke over here like this. And after that, we're going to say that the background color is going to be black. And we're going to use just a web color. So I'm just going to go over here just with black. All right. And after that, I'm going to say that font size should be something like, I don't know, 16 pixels. So font size 16 pixels over here like this. And now we can actually go ahead and actually style the actual link, right? So here we're going to say pricing. I'm going to say panel footer. And this is going to be a link that we're targeting. And I'm going to say font size, or here like this, 20 pixels. Then we're going to say that the color is going to be the orange one, right? So we're going to say the color is going to be, where's our orange? So we're here. So we can copy it, or we can just remember it. We have a color, right? And after that, we're going to say the border color is going to be actually exactly the same, right? So we say border color, and we're going to say that this is going to be exactly the same. So we're just going to copy this. And after that, we just need to change it once we're actually hovering over, right? So again, you can see that we have right now this button, but we just want to change it around once we're actually hovering over, right? So what we would want to do is we'll want to say that pricing, and here we're going to say panel footer, and here we're going to say a, and once we're hovering, right? Hover, and here we're going to say background color white smoke, background color white smoke over here like this. And let's check it out. You can see that once we're hovering, it actually has this color. And the last thing that we want to do is actually style these horizontal lines, right? So here we're just going to say target pricing ID HR, and then we're going to say that we would want a width to be something like 60%, and then we're going to say that this margin, if we want it in the middle, we would need to actually play with the margin, right? Because it's actually for different screen might be not exactly in the middle, right? So first of all, I'm going to say that margin, right? And if we want to place it in the center, right, we would need to use two values, right? First of all, we're saying margin 10 pixels, but then we're saying auto. So you can see once we actually use these margin auto, right, which is for left and right, it actually places this X in the middle. And we're putting this margin top down. This is going to be at 10 pixels. And the last thing what we want to do is actually create a border. So we're going to say a border, and we're going to say that this is 1 pixel solid, and we're going to say that this is going to be, again, this orange color that we're using, or here like this, right? And we're just going to add a important, just in case that happens, right? Important. And again, in some cases, I can tell you honestly right away, this important is not necessary, but it does help to remember how we can do that, just in case we forget, right? We keep using, and then we come to some kind of problem where we cannot get the style we want, we always need to remember that this is going to be this important, that helps us do it, right? In some cases, obviously, it's not the case, but over here, you can see that if I make this screen bigger, right? If we make it to small size, right? You can see how it looks like, right? And we can actually go and check it out, maybe on a bigger screen, how our whole page is, right? So I'm just going to make it bigger, right? So this is going to be our page. You can see our scroll, right? As we're scrolling up and down, right? As we press it, this is going to be services. We still haven't done a smooth scrolling, right? But we're going to get there. Over here, this is going to be our promise, right? So as you can see, I'm scrolling up and down. This has this parallax effect. This is going to be our skills section. This is going to be our project, right? You can see what we have done actually over here with this lorem pixel, right? And over here, this is going to be our team with Arnie's, right? This is if we actually refresh, right? They start actually counting over here. And this is going to be what we just created, right? This is going to be our 4 basic panels. Now, obviously, you can do custom over here. I just did basic everything. So once you actually get a hold of it, you can create your own numbers and your values. Now that we're done with this one, let's create a section that actually discusses what the people are saying about us.